Hi there everyone, this is your Farming Week Ahead weather update here with Alexi Veneris in association with weatherweb.net. Right, we also have of course our subscription-based web service here where if you become a subscriber then you'll have access to all our data that we provide, from fast forecasts through to longer outlooks through to even seasonal outlooks, and every month we put out a monthly guidance for that month ahead too. So it's a really good one to have. Now, we also put on a 7-day free trial, so please do check this out before becoming committed. Now, we also, of course, as many of you know, have our Farming Weather Live service where you give us a call, you tell us your location, and we will be as quick as possible to give you the most accurate forecast that we can for that time. If you're calling from the UK, then your calls will be charged at £1.55 a minute. If you're calling from Ireland, your calls will be charged at €2.44 a minute. Now, the service is available 7 days a week between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Okay, that all-important weather forecast for the week ahead. It's going to be a rather unsettled week, changeable at that too, so quite low pressure dominant. We will see frequent rain and or showers, and also some rather blustery high winds at times too. Now, the temperatures are generally going to be more or less around average, though will feel cooler if you're exposed to that wind, of course. We're also going to see some chilly nights, though, come about, and actually towards the end of the week, the temperatures might actually come down to below average as we see a bit of a northerly flow develop. So let's take a look at some of the detail. So looking at chunks at 5 days, this is the predicted rainfall total from the GFS ensemble model here through to Friday, essentially, through to end of next week. And you can see that most of the rainfall is on the western side of the country, particularly western parts of the UK, up to around 60 to 70 millimetres, maybe in excess of that across western parts of Scotland and Wales. Far less rainfall falling across more eastern areas, more like 20 to 30 millimetres in total through the next 5 days here. Now, taking a quick look at the following 5 days, just to give you a little insight on what the weekend and the following week has in store. Far less rainfall. We see the dynamics changing a little bit with the weather pattern. Still quite a bit of rainfall, though, expected through western parts of Scotland, perhaps western parts of Wales. And a quick look at some meteograms for the week ahead. You'll notice that generally going through the different locations here on the screen that the temperatures are generally going downward for both the maximum daytime highs and the overnight minimums as well, and do get quite low the further north we go across the country, down into single digits, particularly further north where it gets into quite low single digits for those overnight minimums going through at times during the week. Okay, having a look at the day-to-day detail using the surface pressure charts here taken at midday every day. So this is Monday. Monday is expected to start wet for many, as you can see this couple of fronts actually pass from west to east across the country. These are going to bring some rather heavy, persistent spells of rain to particularly parts of Scotland and northern England. The rain should actually clear most from the west, with sunny spells developing, but also some rather blustery and frequent showers. Southeast England actually could see the rain continue through much of the afternoon before eventually clearing through here. Highs will be at a rather cool 12 to 15 Celsius in the north and west, 16 to 20 across more southern and eastern areas. Moving on to Tuesday's weather. Tuesday will be a largely wet and windy day once again. Wettest places at this point are expected through parts of Wales, particularly during the morning here, but also through northern England, southern Scotland and Northern Ireland. Becoming largely dry with possible sunny interludes developing through central and southern regions of England, though it is expected to be really rather blustery and windy across Ireland, Wales and England through the day. Temperatures on Tuesday generally ranging between 14 in the north and west, up to around 20 in the south and east. Then midweek, we've got a cloudy and wet day across England and Wales as a front sweeps through here. Rain will in places again be heavy and persistent at times. Drier and brighter through Scotland, Ireland and Northern Ireland, though do expect some showers, particularly onto some western areas frequent through here. Highs at around 14 to 18 Celsius for most places, though we could actually find that they get up into the low 20s across southeastern parts of England. Right, moving on to Thursday, it'll be a wet morning across southeastern parts of England before that front does clear out the way quite soon. Showers affecting elsewhere through parts of England. These actually often merging into longer spells of rain as we do introduce another occluded front through here. Largely dry with sunny spells across Scotland, particularly northern areas of Scotland, as well as many regions of Northern Ireland. Highs will be generally around 15 to 20 Celsius. And then for the end of the week, this is Friday's midday chart. We've got some cloud and showery rain through England and Wales as a centre of lower pressure sort of moves across through here. Could actually see some heavy bursts of rain, particularly through southeastern parts of England. It should be somewhat drier and brighter further north and west, though we do have a brisk northerly wind flow pushing down across Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland more particularly. So do expect some showers to push onto northern coasts and hills around these regions. And it's going to be feeling somewhat cooler than previous days, highs only really around 11 to 18 Celsius. Now, a quick look into the weekend. It's been quite consistent that Saturday is showing to be a largely dry day, relatively fine. We should see some sunny spells about, maybe the odd shower pushing in on what will be a bit of a northwesterly wind. It's probably a cool start, maybe even quite chilly actually in many places. Mist and fog could be prevalent first thing as well. And then later in the day, we start to see cloud increase from the west as we get the next area of low pressure move in off of the Atlantic. And this is currently what to expect for Sunday, where we see a front trying to push across the country. It might actually weaken as it pushes up against the high. So western areas seeing some rain, perhaps eastern areas not so much, but winds start to pick up again as well. So as mentioned at the start, it is going to be a rather unsettled and changeable week of weather ahead. That is your farming week ahead weather forecast in association with weatherweb.net.